What's going on, ambitious vet? Thanks for diving into the trenches with us this week as we seek to provide you the golden grenades you need to break through to new levels of satisfaction, fulfillment, and success in your life post-military. If there's one thing I have realized after doing this podcast for probably over the past 2.5 years now, is there is someone like yourself that's been out of the uniform, realize that immediate transitional tools have a shelf life, but you're lacking something in life, aren't you? And this podcast reveals the golden grenades for you to blow through to new levels of satisfaction in your life and success. Now, before we dive into today's guest, I want to actually just give a huge shout out to Victoria B. Thompson, who on iTunes, Apple, actually left us a 5-star rating. She said, I had such an amazing time talking with Chris. What he's doing for veterans is amazing. Victoria, I really thank you for doing that, because sometimes the feedback loop doesn't come as frequently as you would like. And this is great feedback for us as we continue to stay inside the trenches and try to do the small things to help veterans do bigger things in their life. Ambitious Vet, if you do not know who Victoria B. Thompson is, she is a founder of a nonprofit called We Still Rise, which empowers women that are getting out of incarceration to become leaders in their local community. She's also works for the VA and does a variety of different things. But the coolest thing is, over the past few months, she's actually been featured in Success Magazine. That's one of the most prestigious personal and professional development magazines that you could be featured in. I think there's over 500,000+ subscribers a month that woman just got exposure inside of. So this is the caliber of person that Victoria is. So if you don't know who she is, go and look up on your LinkedIn Victoria B. Thompson, and you will not be disappointed. The woman's doing amazing things. And if you want to get to know her more, she was actually just on episode 137 of the Ambitious Vet podcast. Now, let's continue to move forward, shall we? Today, we have a retired 27-year Air Force major who has literally cracked the code in leveraging relationships in personal life and business life to create ongoing progress in your next mission in life. Ambitious Vet, don't go nowhere. We're just getting started.
So life's real currency is relationships. I don't care whether it's your personal or your professional life. It's all about relationships. We learn that somewhat in the military. Think about during military operations and who you know and who you can swap supplies with, or who you can pick up the phone and make the mission happen. I mean, it's all about relationships in the military.
Are you someone who believes in our mission here at the Ambitious Vet Network and is just looking for simple ways to support? We got a triple win for you to step inside of, okay? So we have a Commander-in-Chief giveaway going on right now with the mission to equip ambitious vets with the tools to take lead in life and not just fall victim to life circumstances. I mean, still to this day, I find myself playing victim, being at the effect of certain things in my life. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I think of an area of life where you may be stuck in right now, like not being able to create the income you want to create and blaming the system, blaming the economy, blaming something that's outside of you. Or think about how you are trying to build your confidence. You need to ask for what you really want in life, but you're falling victim based on a landmine that's not even there, that is stopping you in your tracks towards getting the life you want. Now, I'm not saying this is going to help you get rich in 90 days. That doesn't exist, right? I've tried that, been there, done that in my 20s, and trust me, that does not exist. But what I'm saying is this Commander-in-Chief offer will allow you to gain the clarity and the confidence to start executing, creating momentum towards something that you want versus falling into resignation or getting frustrated or whatever, right? It's constantly keeping you unstuck in life. So if that sounds good, great. Now, I want to offer you an amazing opportunity to actually participate and share this, to where not only are you going to be able to promote and share top veteran retail companies like Mutt Sauce, GetPayroll, Alpha Coffee, and Rollers, but you're also going to be able to collect points and win over $400 worth of prizes. If that sounds good, I want you to participate. We're announcing the winner live on August 12th, 2021 inside of our Ambitious Vet Network Facebook group, and I want you to be the winner. But it starts with you clicking the YouTube link in the show notes below to learn more about how you want to participate inside the giveaway. Look forward to seeing you participate. Make sure you tag me and all the retail partnerships inside of this giveaway so we know that you're sharing it, so we can track your points. But also, we look forward to seeing you step up and become the leader in your life.
It's time to get into the trenches, dig into your purpose, and fire up your life fulfillment. The Ambitious Vet Podcast starts now.
What's going on, Ambitious Vet? We are right back inside the trenches today with Brenda Sanchez. Brenda is the co-author of the best-selling book, Life's Real Currency. She's a retired Air Force major who served her country for 27 years and has now been serving the business community for over 10. She's a master connector and loves teaching businesses a proven marketing strategy to stand head and shoulders above the competition. Brenda and her husband, Michael, have done the research for you on the best tools available to save time and make you more money. They have consulted and mentored thousands of business owners and entrepreneurs and love helping businesses just thrive, not survive. Brenda, are you there?
Yes. Thank you for having me on, Chris.
Man, it's exciting. I know we were talking about this a few weeks ago on Military Mondays, which I think was July 12th time period. And man, that show was amazing. Thanks for that. I'm really excited to go ahead and start pulling out some key golden grenades from your superpower, which is, what the heck is this life currency? The greatest life currency, right? Because I think there's a lot of ambitious vets that need to hear that wisdom. But Brenda, back to you. Fill the gaps inside that introduction and just tell us more about you.
So as you said, I'm a 27-year Air Force veteran, but there were lots of landmines, as you like to call them, or grenades in my military career. So I did not get into the service to make it a career. And I actually had 2 breaks in service. And my first break was after I served active duty and got out to be a wife and a mom. And a few months later, so if you are a female and you are serving right now, or you've gotten out and you've been out for 3 or 4 years and you're like, there's something missing in my life. That was me. And so I got into the reserves. So if you didn't serve a full career and you're thinking there's a gap, there's something missing, you might look into the reserves. That's what I did. I did that for a number of years. And then, of course, another landmine happened. We moved cross country and I could not find a billet. I know a lot more today than I did back then, but I gave up my career again. And I say gave up my career, Chris, but I never planned on making it a career. And, went back to being a wife and a mom and helping around the house. And then another landmine hit my life, and that was a divorce. And through that divorce, I said, oh, crap, since we're on a podcast here, we'll use good words. Oh, crap, now what am I going to do with my life? And I looked back into the reserves and it made sense. And so I got back into the reserves. And so I have said to my ex, even at my retirement ceremony, if it wasn't for him asking for a divorce, I wouldn't be standing there retiring. And so even if you're out, because the audience today is mostly people who have been out for 2, 3, 4 years. Maybe you've been out for a number of years and there's something missing. You don't know what it is. I'd encourage you to maybe look into the reserves, because I absolutely fell in love with the reserves. I can't say I loved active duty. So just a piece of a word of advice for the listeners, that just because you close that door doesn't mean that door is completely closed. You may be able to open that door.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I know we were talking offline here a little bit. I know just for broken relationships is one of the biggest things that has veterans that get out with big aspirations, but they're not able to understand how to rekindle their relationships to continue to move forward in life, right? So like, I acknowledge you for, dealing with something like a divorce, and then at your retirement ceremony being like, hey, thank you for doing that. That's so powerful, because I'm just thinking about my exes when I got out of the Marine Corps, and I'm just like, if I would have went back, would I have had them at my retirement ceremony? I don't know. So it's just like, wow. That's super powerful stuff. And for you to have that realization is just incredible stuff. So, let's talk more about going back to the reservist side of things, because, I know that whenever I was in, it's kind of like the weekend warriors, there's the weekend warrior. How do we overcome that paradigm to not, get over that stigma of like, hey, there's a weekend warrior coming in this weekend or something like that. And, be able to come in there and be like, yeah, I'm still serving, stuff like that, but get over that insecurity that ambitious vets may have. I'm going to go back in, I'm going to be full out, right? Which a lot of us will kind of go in that mindset versus going part-time. How did you kind of overcome that?
So as a female, and this may be different for a male, as a female, I wanted to be there for my kids. And that's why a lot of people get out of the service. Even if it's a guy, they get out of the service because it takes a lot away from their family life, and they choose to get out so that they can be home more with their family, with their kids.
True, yeah.
And that was me, is I wanted to be around for the kids. And I actually was not a weekend warrior. I was a weekday warrior. And
Nice.
Some of you out there are thinking, wait a minute, what's that? So there is a program. I was in the Airforce. It's called IMA, so Individual Mobilization Augmentee. The fact is, active duty needs people to backfill for them when they deploy. And that's what an IMA does, is they partner alongside an active duty unit and help fill those voids when active duty members deploy, so that the stateside mission can still get done. But the way that I justified it, or was able to, I guess justify is the right word in my head, was that I had the best of both worlds. I could continue serving my country, but I could also be there to serve my family. So if you are somebody who loves to serve your country and you don't think you can serve it part-time, think of it this way. You got out to serve your family and the community. What better way than to do both? So I was able to work part-time. I had the blessing, and not everybody has this, but I was blessed that I got to set my own hours. So
that is awesome.
Let's see, a part-time job that you still get to serve your country. And at the end of it, when you retire, you get a retirement check. Yes, you got to wait for it. But where can you go and work part-time and serve your part-time anywhere and get a retirement, but part-time serve your country and get a retirement?
Yeah, not many places. And I love how you worded that. It's like, I still got to serve my country, serve a bigger purpose, something bigger than myself, but also spend more quality time with the ones I love. Like, that was one of the biggest reasons why I got out of the Corps in 2012 too, Ambitious Vet, was this, what I valued in life. And I was finding that I wasn't happy continuing to do what I was doing. And to Brenda's point, sometimes you do have to re-examine. Maybe you are a mid-level manager inside of a corporate job. Maybe you're a startup entrepreneur that maybe needs some side supplement cash. Maybe going and leveraging the program that Brenda just said is a great way for you to kind of create some immediate stability, but also feel like you're serving a bigger purpose, but also have, some supplement income to keep you going and moving forward, right? It sounds like that's kind of a way to leverage it, right?
The nice thing about the reserves too, or the guard, whether it be traditional reserves, IMA, or the guard, is there is options for medical. So you have health insurance options that if you are an entrepreneur like I am and you are now, trying to get insurance on your own for your business is not inexpensive, or if you choose the lower cost options, don't cover as much. But if you're a reservist and you are starting your own business, what better way? Now you've got TRICARE that you can tap into, TRICARE Reserve Select, that you can support you and your family and have an amazing health program, healthcare system for yourself and your family at a very affordable price as a reservist while you're building your business. And that's what I did, is we started building our business long before I retired. So as you said, I've been doing this over 10 years and I retired in 2015. So that was just 6 years ago. So we started our business 4 years prior to me retiring.
That's incredible. Yeah. And you also had the time to build this business on top of raising your family and taking care of them. That's incredible. Right. So I think that's a great pivoting point to this idea of multiple revenue streams, right? I know there's a quote that I love from T. Harv Eker, who's, great author, attended his programs. He says, you can only be financially free when your passive income exceeds your expenses, right? I think a lot of ambitious vets, they're figuring out how do they gain the other side of freedom on the other side of the uniform, right? Like they're fought for freedom. Now, how do they fight for their own freedom out of the uniform? And I think you have a unique perspective on, after we find stability in life, how do we create multiple streams of income? So in your own words, Brenda, what does it mean? And what are ways ambitious vets can take advantage of this idea of multiple revenue streams?
So I personally think that everybody should have multiple revenue streams, Chris, because whether you're currently serving or whether you've gotten out, no matter where you are in life as a military member or a veteran, you don't know what tomorrow brings. COVID is a perfect example of that. How many people got out of the service and started a career with a government contractor or something else, and because of COVID, they lost their job? We don't know what tomorrow brings. You don't know if you'll be in a car accident. If you're currently serving, you don't know if you'll be in harm's way and get injured and be forced to medically retire. We don't know what tomorrow holds. So I truly believe that having multiple streams of income gives you the ability to fall back on something else. If you don't have multiple streams of income, and the proverbial shit hits the fan, now what do you do, and how do you support your family, and how do you pay the bills? Most Americans resort to credit cards and piling up the credit card debt. What if you just had a couple of $100 extra every single month from a side gig, whether that be crafts, whether that be network marketing, whether it be direct sales, whether it be owning franchise? There's a lot of fees with that, but there's lots of options out there where you can have a side gig and have a couple hundred to a couple thousand or more than that coming in. What would that mean to your family if something happened?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I love the idea of multiple streams of income. And what I'm hearing also in what you're saying, Brenda, is one stream of income is great. But, one thing I learned when I got out of the Marine Corps, stability doesn't even exist, right? It doesn't exist because, like you said, like a pandemic may smack you across the face, which we all felt, right? Which, you could be furloughed and be like, hey, well, you just identified with that one role that you were inside of. If you were like a manufacturing manager, right? You just identified with that, but no one's really hiring, or there's a talent war going on right now. What do I do? What do I do to be resourceful and find ways to like leverage your relationships, leverage other resources and skill sets that you may have or may not know to kind of figure out how to, provide for your family and have the revenue to fall back on until you find something else. I love it. You can be more agile and just flexible in life, I feel too, right?
Yeah, exactly. It just gives you more options. I mean,
yeah.
I've known so many people that had, whether they be in the military or they got out of the military and had a job, and then their child had a basketball game, a finals or something like that, and they couldn't go because the boss wouldn't let them go. And it's because they had a side gig, and that side gig had gotten big enough that they said, no more. I'm not allowing other people to control my time and my schedule. And they chose to then break away from that job and have their own business. But it's only because they had a side gig that they were working for a period of time that then they could fall back on that and kind of have that time and financial freedom that so many people are striving for today.
Yeah. And it's just like, you get so attached to financial stability when you get out of the uniform too, right? It's just like, I just want to provide for my family. And you don't feel versatile, right? Because you're still in that mindset of people telling you what to do. So you don't have critical thinking or creative thinking of like, hey, I could go and, do what we're about to talk about with what you're doing, right? With the greatest life currency, this amazing way to just continue to leverage relationships, personal and business, right? But we just don't think like that. And it's just crazy that we don't have the education to teach us how to think like that. But
it's really, Chris.
Yeah.
We're taught this skill in the military, but most of us don't understand the skill that we've learned. And we don't apply it to our personal lives. And that's to think outside the box. We are trained in the military to have not just plan A, but plan A never happens the way it's supposed to. So you always have a plan B and a plan C with military operations.
Yep.
Why don't we do that in life? Why don't we do that in life?
That's a good question. I think we're so caught up in survival mode. I mean, for me, an ambitious vet, I hope you're getting something for yourself and asking yourself these difficult questions. But I know for me, for the first 5 years I got out of the Marine Corps in 2012, I was just trying to survive. I was in one of the most highest cost of living places in San Diego, California. And I was like, you know what? I've just got to figure out how to pay the bills, get out of debt. So I actually can start having more choices in my life. So my answer, from my own personal story, Brenda, is just surviving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we get in that scarcity mindset, right? So it takes teachers like you and your husband to kind of help ambitious vets kind of think outside the box.
Hi, I'm Charles Reed, CEO of GetPayroll and a Vietnam veteran. If you're looking for a payroll company with a CPA and a U.S. Tax Corp practitioner on staff to help you make sure your payroll stays in compliance with all of the IRS, state, and local rules, then look no further. Help support a 30-year veteran-owned business by visiting getpayroll.com for all your payroll needs. And get your first 2 months free.
So let's talk about this, right? Life's greatest currency, right? You guys got a best-selling book. You guys have a program. You guys got some exciting stuff going on, but tell us more about what do you mean by life's greatest currency and why is it so important?
So life's real currency is relationships. If you really think about it, we're told all the time, we are the sum of the 5 people we hang around the most. So I want you to think about that for a second. Who are the 5 people you're hanging around the most? Are they people that are hanging out on the couch watching TV? Are they people that are movers and shakers and making things happen? Because you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around the most. So life's real currency is relationships. I don't care whether it's your personal or your professional life. It's all about relationships. We learn that somewhat in the military. Think about during military operations and who you know and who you can swap supplies with, or who you can pick up the phone and make the mission happen. I mean, it's all about relationships in the military, and it's all about relationships on the outside, whether it's your personal or your business life. So we like to say, it's about building strong relationships, because that is your currency. I'm trying to remember who it is. I can't remember if it's Robert Kiyosaki or if it's Tony Robbins, but they talk about your Rolodex, the size of your Rolodex. And now I'm dating myself. Yes, I understand that. But the size of your contact list in your phone determines your income or your net worth.
Yeah.
Your net worth is based on the people that are in your life and in your circle of influence. The more people you have in your life, especially super successful people, the more likely your income level and your success level will be much higher. And so that's what we teach. And so many people lose sight of that, and they're chasing the next sale. And they become a transactional business. And when you become a transactional business and you aren't concerned about those relationships, your customers and your prospects, eventually your business will start to die. Because think about it. If you have a great product or a great service, I want you to think right now, they get a bad rep and it's for a reason. Think of the cable companies. And the cell phone companies. Who do they give the best savings and the best discounts to?
Already existing customers.
No.
What?
New clients.
Well, I mean, I sold some telecommunication products door to door, and but I'll stick with this conversation.
So maybe in the telecommunications, but we find, like, I find this in my cable company. They constantly raise your rates every single year.
They do that. Yep.
And the best deals are given to somebody brand new. Now, if you are somebody that's willing to fight for what's rightfully yours, and you call the cable company and say, wait a minute, you've got this deal going on right now for new clients. I've been your client for 10 years. You may or may not get that new special.
That is true, because I am one of those people that dial up the phone and be like, hey, hold on. I saw this pop up, and I'm like, hey, I'm looking over at this other company. They can offer it by fraction of the price.
But you're proactive.
Yeah, not a lot of people.
Wouldn't it be better if the business said, I'm so grateful for your business of 1, 2, 5, 10 years. We're going to give you a discount on your service.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
That's the difference between being transactional and customer focused or people focused. Think of the companies that go above and beyond. Restaurants. I'm sure you can think of a great restaurant and a terrible restaurant. And generally, if the food is equal, the terrible restaurant is the one that the customer service sucks. And the great restaurant, there are some great restaurants in town that aren't a high ticket, and they are a better restaurant than some of the really high ticket restaurants in town because of the service they provide.
Right. Yeah. So what I'm hearing is like some kind of like reward system to continue to, just reward clients and their loyalty. Right. And to your point, I mean, they're, looking back, selling to telecommunications door to door when I was just trying to figure myself out back in, I think, 2014, we had some customers that I would be responsible for retaining that would call back and be like, hey, like, hold on. Right. And we gotta be more thankful for the people that are currently in our lives versus always chasing that next sale. So I definitely see your point there. And that's definitely extremely important. And then we wonder why there's churn in our business, stuff like that, people falling off because, we're always focusing on the next big backflip, right?
Yeah. So what my husband and I teach is that you should be spending your money, so your marketing dollars, with people who are already spending money on you. Because if you have a great product or a service and you create that great service, you create raving fans that do organic marketing for your business, and you don't have to.
Yeah. Walking billboards. Yeah.
Yep. That's
the way you want to do it. Yeah. And tell us more about kind of what you guys are offering people to actually be able to do that, right? Because I know that whenever we first met, which was, I think, months ago, you guys sent this amazing care package where I opened it up and, my pregnant wife now opened up those brownies and it said, hey, specifically for Chris Hoffman. And she's like, well, I'm a Hoffman, Mrs. Hoffman. And she popped open and just enjoyed those brownies. I did have a couple pieces though, but just like amazing stuff like that you open up and you just feel good, right? Like, wow, someone actually cares. And it's something that, the mailbox, everyone kind of has to go to still. So it was an amazing experience overall. Plus it made the pregnant wife happy, right? Which is always good. But tell us more about what you guys are offering for people to continue to build those multiple revenue streams, but also keep people excited about what they're doing. They're already in their database.
Yeah. So great question. Thank you, Chris. So we teach people to wow their customers and prospects, sort of like you were wowed and your wife was wowed by that package. It's a lost art. It really is, using the mailbox. It's old world charm using new world technology. So being able to put your follow-up, we've all heard the fortune is in the follow-up if you're in business, but 97% of businesses are not doing effective follow-up. And why is that? Because it takes a lot of time and energy. So my husband and I help businesses implement systems that save them time and make them a lot more money in their business by wowing. Like when Chris got that package, I immediately got a text saying, oh my God, thank you so much. And a lot of times people go on social media and they'll post what they got in the mail.
Yeah.
Well, that creates a lot of organic marketing for you and your business. And if somebody doesn't know you, you might be in real estate or insurance or whatever it is, and your client goes out and posts that on Facebook, now everybody wants to know who that real estate or insurance agent is because they want to get packages like that from their real estate agent or their insurance agent, because unfortunately, the majority of the mail we get today is junk mail.
Yeah, it is.
If you go to your mailbox, and this is not a trick question, hopefully Chris will get this right. When you go to your mailbox and there is a bunch of mail in your mailbox, what is the first thing you open, Chris?
I mean, whenever I go to my mailbox, usually it's my wife that goes in the mailbox. But when I do go, it's usually boxes, something that looks, more personable versus like something that looks like a bill or, just some kind of coupons or whatever, right? Something that looks personable. That's like, oh my gosh, this looks like a gift from somebody.
Exactly. So you are the sharp crayon in the box.
Sometimes.
And the second thing you open is what?
I mean, that one, I gotta open up the bills to make sure they get paid. That's my personal answer though. I open up the bills second. I open up the personal gift to be like, hey, who did this? Give them some acknowledgement, thanks, stuff like that. But I gotta open up the bills next just to make sure we get paid. We're paying them and stuff like that. But what is the answer?
The answer is cards.
So
if it's not a box, it's a personal card. And then yes, the bills. Yeah. But You get credit because yes, bills are important to pay.
I'm one out of two. I'm one out of two.
Yes. So that's all we teach people to do is to show up in the mailbox. 70% of people say that they don't even get a birthday card. So when we teach you as a business to find out your clients' birthdays and send a birthday card, you win every time, because a lot of times their family isn't even sending stuff for their birthday. So that's all we teach people to do. And we teach you to save time and put automated systems in place to do that, because we know you don't have the time to do it. So we've done the research, like you said earlier, we've done the research of the best systems that are out there to help you save time and make more money in your business.
Yeah. And I don't know what the recent stat is, and that's amazing. I don't know what the recent stat is. I'd have to look it up. If you know, feel free to spit the fire or the golden grenades around it though. But some of the top decision makers within major corporations, how you get their attention right now is through still direct mailing, because they are, baby boomers, right? They're not millennials. They're not Gen X's that are, social media bound and, kind of always on social media, right? So is there any talking points or stats that you have around that?
So, you want to get past the gatekeeper, and how do you get past the gatekeeper?
Exactly.
The best way to somebody's heart or their head is through their belly. But the one stat that I can share, a couple of them, one of them is the top 3% of sales professionals. The only thing that's different between them and the other 97% is they send a thank you card.
Yeah.
If that's all you do, you end up in the top in your industry.
That's cool.
And it takes 7 to 12 contacts. So you're talking about trying to get into the big guys. It takes 7 to 12 contacts. That's phone calls, that's stuff showing up in the mail, social media, email, all different forms of contact. It takes 7 to 12 for somebody generally to make the decision to do business with you.
Wow.
Now, would you, as the recipient, as the prospect, or the person that the person's trying to do business with, would you prefer that to be email or showing up in a mailbox? Or a combination?
I'm starting to feel like I'm taking a test this episode, and I think I'm at like 60% or something. So I'm still passing. So, obviously the mail, it gets to our hearts, and I don't know everything that you guys offer for helping people continue to nurture quality relationships and reach out to, decision makers inside companies to drive bigger revenue inside the company. But, when we got those brownies, it was, you went over my wife's heart, you went over my heart. So it's huge versus an email, because we get hundreds of emails every single day. And even social media, I try to spend less than 20 minutes a day on social media. So it would definitely be the mailbox for sure.
Yeah, we have everything from gourmet foods to coffee mugs, water bottles, laser engraved wine set, charcuterie boards, barbecue sets. I could go on and on. We have tons of stuff, depending on whether your budget is low or your budget is high. It really depends on the level of sales that you're doing. If your sales are smaller ticket items, you're probably going to use the smaller items. If you're selling and making 5,000, 10,000 or more in commissions, you're going to be sending our higher end products.
Right. Yeah, that's great. And I love that it's different items and different offerings, because people have different values, right? Different things that they like to have around the house or eat, whatever. So that's great that there's a variety there. So, Brenda, is there any other last bit of golden grenades there before we dive into the one last golden grenade for just a courage and ambitious vet who's looking to become more out of the uniform?
So I was going to go to that one, because I've got the one. Let me think if I have.
around your company, around just what you guys are offering, kind of the vision. Like, what's the vision of where you guys want to do during this time? Because even during COVID times right now, I'm sure doing direct mailing like that, where everyone is still kind of home, is probably an amazing opportunity for a lot of people to get in front of people, right?
It is, because right now we're starting to come back, but people are missing that human connection right now. People that used to go into the office and they're working remotely, even employers to be able to recognize their employees. I mean, there's so much you can do with a system like what we offer that just sets you apart head and shoulders above your competition. And if that's something that interests you, I'd love to have a conversation. We do a free discovery call so people can reach out to me, and I'd love to just find out what it is that you do in business, because, you know, we served, my husband is also law enforcement. He's served in law enforcement for over 44 years. So between the two of us, we have over 70 years of service.
Wow.
To our country and local and state governments, but now we're serving the business community, and our heart really is to help you grow your business. And if you don't want to grow your business, our heart is to help you keep the business you have so that you can stay in business until you're ready to sell the business to somebody else. And then we want to make it profitable for you to be able to sell it.
No, that's great. I love that. It's a great nurturing strategy. Direct mailing is not out the window yet. It really isn't. Some of the top executives are the ones that are opening their mail every single day, and it's harder to get them on social media and email. So that's great. So Brenda, let's kind of pivot into the last segment of the show, the last golden grenade, right? That there's an ambitious vet out in the trenches of life that's, you know, find the basics of career stability. They're just trying to figure out how to level up in life. They may be fulfillment, satisfaction, you know, just more impact out of the uniform. What would be that one last golden grenade to encourage that ambitious vet? And then we'll give you a call to action and say goodbye.
Awesome. So I actually have two golden nuggets, because they kind of go hand in hand. One, we've already talked about that. Find a side gig, because most side gigs are a professional development company with a product attached to it. So to be able to go out, just like Chris has done, and get that professional development, go learn, you know, immerse yourself in learning, whatever it might be, and you will become a better person. You will have more energy. You will be more confident by doing that. And the second thing, the biggest golden nugget I can tell you, is to network. Network, network, network. I don't care if you don't have a business. There are veteran networking groups out there, and their goal is to help you figure out what it is that you want to do when you grow up. And there are groups out there that you can come and you can practice giving a 30-second or a 60-second pitch. They'll let you do an 8 or a 10-minute presentation. There are also employers there looking for people to employ veterans. So if you don't want to own your own business and you just want to be an employee, you still should go to those networking groups, because when you put yourself out there and surround yourself with successful people, they know other successful people that need employees or business partners. And it's all, again, it goes back to life's real currency is about relationships. And the more relationships you build, it's also, when you build those relationships, you have somebody to be a confidant. If the shit is hitting the fan at home or in your job, it's just another avenue for you to self-care, I guess is
like
the best word for it. Have an outlet, because it means it's somebody you can go to the movies with. It's somebody you can go play putt-putt with, go play golf with, go just to get rid of some of that frustration and just get some of that out. When you have a community around you, it's like my BNI group. I say it's like having an extended family. When stuff is happening at home and I need somebody to lean on that isn't immediate family, they are there for me to support me, whether it's illness or business or whatever it is. So network, 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 network. Did I say network enough?
You did. And it's the life's greatest currency as well, right? Yep. Build those relationships, get out there, ambitious vet. But Brenda, where can ambitious vets go to just learn more about life's greatest currency, right? I know that you have an awesome offering, which I think is going to be your book. Ambitious vet, go out. If you're trying to figure out how to build quality relationships in your life that are profitable, but also fulfilling. Relationships that come back and continue to pay you in multiple different versions and ways. Go out and check out their book. Brenda, I'll let you tell them more about the offering and where to go to find that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. So today, right now, we do have a limited offer where we are offering our book for free. So we're going to give you our book. The only thing you have to cover is shipping and handling. So that if you're in the US, that's $7.95. If it's international, I think it's $11.95. Don't quote me on that. But if you go to our website, www.lifes, LIFES, so plural, real, REAL, currency, CURRENCY.com, there's going to be a pop-up that pops up offering our book at no cost to you other than the shipping and handling. And we'd love to send that out to you. And then, you can explore on the website and book a discovery session with us if you'd like and connect with us there.
Outstanding. Well, Brenda, I just want to thank you for being an ambitious vet that's out of the uniform, just really laying out the footprint, the yellow footprints, as us Marines would say, to follow, to find our next life goal and how to achieve that. And in your case, it's the life's greatest currency. So just thank you for giving us the golden grenades today. And thanks for joining the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Chris.
The Ambitious Vet is available on all popular podcast platforms. Go to vettrainingcoaching.com to subscribe, rate, and share with fellow vets.
Ambitious Vet, before you go, if you are excited about helping us really just empower ambitious vets to take lead in their life versus fall victim to life circumstances, which a lot of us have during these COVID times, and even as we're emerging out, as far as post-COVID. If you're interested in supporting us and helping promote some of the top veteran retail companies like Mutt Sauce, GetPayroll, Alpha Coffee, and Rollers, and maybe even win a chance to earn a prize worth over $400 worth of products and offerings, make sure to click the YouTube link in the show notes below. Learn more about what the giveaway is, what the prizes are, and how you can participate fully. And don't forget, the winner will be announced August 12, 2021 live inside our Ambitious Vet Network Facebook group. Until next time, Ambitious Vet, hold the vision and trust the process.